It can be any of them. Like earlier, I did one for it's sort of like a big centaur guy, like a forest version of a centaur called Ronin, and I got a box. Well, they all give a box. The harder they are, the better the box you get.
What boxes?
It gives an accessory. It's a guaranteed accessory that can either be the base version, Pry, or Duo.
That's good. Are the accessories like ogre thing accessories?
Yeah, I've gotten like 2 late 10 necklaces, which are the Valencia version of an ogre ring. I've gotten crescent rings, seraph necklaces, Sissel necklace, one of the new belts from Dragon, and when I first did the quest, it was like 2 or 3 days before I got the first one to spawn. But then there's some days where I've had 2 or 3 spawn. It's all just random, but it's guaranteed accessory. So like the ones that are easy have a chance to give you a blue accessory, but like the ones, and part of it too is they're like normal, hard, and very hard. But over time, to make the very hard ones easier for lower geared players, they lower in difficulty from 5 down to 1. So even if you're not that geared, you still have a chance to, like the very hard bosses are the ones that are like guaranteed ogre ring and stuff, basilisk belt and stuff like that. So it's like guaranteed accessories every week. I'm up to like 9 or 10 accessories in the past week.
I mean, it sounds good just because a lot of the areas where you can get accessories are basically grinded by over-leveled people that you can't touch.
Not to mention the drop chance is shit unless you have
exactly.
Unless you have like a Kama blessing and the loot scrolls going.
But
like
even
guy,
even without that,
he spent 2 hours at Crescents with a Kama blessing and loot scrolls, and he got 24 soiled crescent ring.
All right then. Yeah, but just to be there,
it was 26, and he opened all of them, and he got 4 crescent rings from 2 hours.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I just hated that I had to go, fight high-level people that just destroyed me in like 2 hits.
Also,
just
I know
to
how
grind.
much you're into the horse leveling stuff. At the end of it,
got to tier 7 and then I quit.
At the end of this attendance reward this month, you get a guaranteed tier 8.
Fuck that. Wait, isn't tier 8 the like Pegasus and shit?
No, that's Dream Horses.
What do you mean? Because the last time I played, I thought tier 7 was the highest tier.
Tier 8 was the highest, and they've added 2 out of the 3 Dream Horses. To get a Dream Horse, you need a tier 8.
Yeah, I know.
You need it to be a courser.
Okay,
and then you just gotta get a shit ton of the materials and just...
Yeah, no, I remember. I remember. Trust me, I remember. I thought it was tier 7, so I was either tier 7 or tier 8 horse, because I did a lot of horsing around.
Mombo, are you back?
Yep, I'm here.
Excellent. Are we all here?
Yep,
excellent.
I guess so.
All right, so I do believe
Mambo's turn.
Yeah,
Mambo AFK.
Yeah, you're the last one on your...
Oh, okay, my bad.
We all missed.
No worries.
Well, most of us missed.
Alright, well, it's my turn to miss as well.
Nope, apparently not. You just fucked someone up.
I'm still waiting for...
Oh, that's not... Oh, I saw Hank the Graph Tank. Sorry, I saw that roll. I'm like, what is that?
Well, it's Hank the Graph Tank. Also, that roll will do it, I think. So, who are you shooting exactly?
The same guy I've been shooting at, the railgun dude.
This guy right here, because that's the only one he can shoot.
Oh yeah, it's 3 damage. Beautiful rolls.
Shit damage.
A lot of damage. Yes. 15 drops to 10. 13 minus 10 is 3. Yeah, it takes. All right. So I think on their turn. Because one is critically wounded and the other two have not lost barely a pixel of health.
I mean, there's
So I
4 of
honestly
us.
think, yeah, I mean, that's true.
The guy
So
in
I
melee
think
combat, can he shoot away from melee combat?
he can shoot anything.
Fuck, I was hoping that he couldn't.
I mean, unless Dominic is body blocking the shots, but I don't think he's gonna throw himself in front of the line of fire for you. You are not that pretty.
Alright, Jesus. I'm not Christian, but I'm praying. Will you come and save me again?
Especially since somebody specifically told me not to block line of fire.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so same setup as before. Let's see.
They can't see me though. I'm invisible. They have no line of sight.
Only if you're painted purple.
That's how that guy must have been so fast. He's painted red.
Yeah, he fucking covered the whole map in one go. Like, I don't know what the hell he was wearing.
My mech is painted black with a white skull face, so I'm just.
Well, that certainly worked.
I have prayed, and my prayers have been answered.
You know, one day I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you ain't gonna wanna have a drink anymore. I'm gonna fucking murder you sober.
You're already trying to murder me. What do you mean? You've been trying to do that this whole time. No one else has taken as much damage as I have.
I mean, everyone needs a hobby.
Like, traffic's right next to me and no one's touching him. Just look at him. He's in line of sight.
All right, so I think after that incredible display of failure on their part, I think they're unanimously just gonna surrender and give up. They're too ashamed to keep fighting anymore.
All I want to say is I survived with 4 HP. Like, literally, any damage 14 or over would have killed me.
Well,
with the Hydras.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes that's just how it gets. A terrible roll on my part and, you know, terrible rolls on yours.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, I literally just missed every single shot.
Yep. But yeah, I think they unanimously surrender as most of their team is down and one is critically injured. So I think the referee cuts over the Vox network and declare the Gear Grinders the winner of this particular bout. Yeah, and with that, you start heading back to the hangar again, where you can rest, relax, and thank the lucky stars that you managed somehow to survive.
I mean, all I know is my character my actual character, because of this, is super happy because she had bet on this fight that the Gear Grinders would win, and she has won. For that, if you want to do like for 2 seconds, do you want to use the numbers I did, or do you want to just roll a D1 1,500 for the Gear Grinders? Because I think we only ever bet on the Gear Grinders.
Yeah,
you know what?
1,000.
Or give them a number between 0 and 1 and 1,500. Whatever you think. I rolled the random number, but it was pretty high, so. Oh, you didn't do D. But I'll take it.
No,
That would have been funny.
realized that, Mr. D.
So you want to use the 396?
Yep. That's
okay, good. So basically, the way this works is, I guess I'll do the math. How much did you guys bet? Do you guys remember?
I bet 1,000.
You bet 1,000? Both of you bet 1,000? So both of you will get...
Bet 1,000 on
4,960. Because, that's 4,960 per fight. So if you bet 1,000 on all three, then you would get... How many fights did you guys bet on? How many of those?
On all three.
Then that would be times 3. So both of you made 14. Well, Traffic, did you bet all 3 or 1?
I think I just did the first 2.
So, hold up. what was it? 14. 396 times 10 plus 1,000. So 4,960. So Traffic, you made 9,920, 9,920. And Tarn, you made 14,880. Ben, did you bet at all?
I can't remember for sure if I bet or not. I'm leaning towards no, and I don't have any bet written down, so I'm gonna go with no. I didn't bet anything.
Okay, and I bet 5,000 on each fight. See, I was smart, guys. What was the number? 396 plus 5 times 3. Oh, baby. Where is... Oh, yeah, my actual character sheet. Do you want to get rid of these mech sheets, or do you want to just keep them for now?
Sorry, I'm just doing some quick math here.
Go ahead. Yeah, and the way I got those, if you guys ever wanted to know, is for every $100 you guys put, you guys get $396 back. So you guys put 1,000 each, so it's 10. You put 10 $100 bills. So 10 times 396 is 3,960. Plus you get whatever you put in. So plus 1,000 is $4,960. That's how game betting works. And I was like, the night I was like talking to one of my friends, I'm like, I need help. How do you do betting? And he's like, I don't know. So we just both looked it up. Now I know if I'm ever going to bet on a team, how to do it.
All right, to save ourselves from the excruciating pain of having to redo this again ever, I just rolled for the remaining matches as
I thought you already did.
Advance. Yeah, well, not for this.
Oh, okay.
And because you actually won this fight that I had rolled where you would lose, I just had to redo some of the map for this.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. So did the gear grinders come in top 3?
I'm writing down the placements right now for this.
All right.
Math never changes.
Math does never change.
Alright, so if you have a look in the mech tournament now, the handout.
Okay, yeah, so we're good. As long as they came in 3rd. If they came in 4th, then we wouldn't have made the money for that. I thought this was going to determine if we won fully. So is that? Are you saying that because we won this, we actually made them 3rd?
So the first round, I rolled for the first round on this, and they advanced in the second round, and then in the second round they lost to the Steel Legion, which is SL on the turn tracker. So in this battle you were fighting the Steel Legion, and because in the original roll that I did, Steel Legion won, but because he won right now, I changed the placement so they advanced to the 3rd round, and then I rolled for the remaining results. And yeah, they came in 3rd on that one.
Nice. All right, we just made ourselves that money.
Yeah, and you got to try to pilot some mechs as well, even though it wasn't the best in the entire world, because I literally came up with this shit like an hour before we started. And
also, the mechs weren't very well customized,
You don't have
that feeling.
You don't have to answer this if you don't know off the top of your head, but just out of curiosity, which team did we sell that piece of pre-tech to?
It wasn't even a team.
I thought it was. I thought, because I remember asking about it at the end of last session in Hellforge, saying like, oh yeah, you recognize the guy that you sold it to out here.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that.
But if you don't know, it's not something you gotta look up. I just thought it would be funny if they got 1st place, and then I'm like, oh, should have bet them.
I mean, we don't really have any like allegiance to the gear grinders. We're just helping them out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no.
you sold the part to the Crimson Thunder.
And
Okay. Oh shit, they got first place in heavy.
Nice. Okay, good. We did not participate in heavy, so I didn't have any bets on that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Did I ever explain what that part? I know there was several roles for explaining it. And what
Something
part
about
was
it was an
corresponding.
injector, fuel injector, I believe.
Yeah, but did I ever give you the exact description? I
No.
think someone rolled high enough for it, but I honestly don't recall.
No, you never gave us a full. You're always pretty vague about it.
Yeah, so basically, if you, so I'll just give you this one as a bonus thing because you don't own it anymore, so you can't cry yourself to sleep anymore about
Unless
how
we
much money
steal
you
it.
actually lost. Well, you could certainly try if you want, and that's an adventure for another time. But yeah, if used correctly with the sister part, so you have the couple, it would basically double the speed of any mech it's attached to.
Oh wow.
So, for example, a specialist mech suit that has the speed of 6 would be speed of 12.
Interesting.
So it would basically be able to move on its move action without doing anything else. A specialist suit with that pre-check part would be able to move 120 meters per turn on their move action and then take an attack action. So it's a fairly substantial piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm. All right, good thing we sold it, right, guys?
Yep.
I mean, we made a fair amount of money for that. We can go do other things with that money now. Hopefully, maybe.
All right. So I think unless someone has any moral objections to it, we can skip ahead slightly to
End of
this
the
would
mech wars.
be yes, this would be what would this be? It would be the 8th. No, it's actually end of day 7. Swear I had this written down somewhere. I just have like 30 different Google Docs that I just write down a couple of sentences in. So I haven't really organized a
You
lot
just
of
need to
stuff.
take like one night and just put everything into like 1 or 2. It's gonna be hard.
Listen, that sounds like work.
Hey, it's your fault for making it messy.
That is very true. All right.
Don't worry, I'm not any better.
What? Oh yeah. So I think on the final day of the tournament, where the big finale is, the warfare category is, and that is a spectacle of violence and debauchery to behold in all things. Yeah, there's beautiful stuff right there. But yeah, so Ton, you are officially released from your contract with the Gear Grinders. Like you're put as a free agent. You can go do whatever you want now. Brody, you've I think Stone comes over to you at some point, like meets up with you somewhere, and gives you a. Actually, no, it wouldn't be that. I think Carter calls you at some point, like after the tournament is done, like after the last day, when they after like probably late at night, just send you a text message or something like that, and says, when you have time, come grab a beer with me. We need to talk, or I would like to have a word with you.
All right. I mean, I'm not doing anything else, so I might as well go.
All right. So, yeah, Ton, first of all, on the end of seventh day, when so I think Stone comes up to you in the workshop, the repair hangar, and he basically he says to you like, from midnight onward, you are released from your duties to the company as by the contract you signed, and if you wish to stay with us or do whatever you want, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, I thank you for your service and a pleasure having you.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah, and he tips his head at you and walks back to his office. And yeah, you see, yeah, I think you spend most of the evening helping Carter, like salvaging some of the more damaged mech suits and light mechs into a semblance of shape. And then, yeah, Carter decides around maybe 10 p.m. that he's had enough for one day and heads off somewhere else for a bit. So you're free to do what you want. You can either stay here until like on the dot midnight, or you can probably sneak away now if you want without any hard feelings. Everyone seems to be just stowing the gear and equipment for the next trip.
He'd stay till exactly midnight.
All right. Can you roll me a fix with dexterity or intelligence, please? And you get the +1 for the first roll of the day. Yeah, so you managed to pack a fair amount of crates with equipment when the clock strikes midnight, and you are officially free to do whatever you wish.
Well, after that, he'd go track down the members of the party and much offer his services. So he's pretty much free from gear grinders now.
Yeah, I don't know if you know where they have parked the ship, but you at least have the com number or contact info for most of them, if not all. You can just reach out and say, "Hey, I'm free now."
Yeah, he'd probably contact Brody since he knows him the best.
Right? Yeah, so Brody, you get a message or some contact request from Ton as you're sitting in the bar with Carter.
I'm gonna message him back and tell him where the ship is and tell him I'm at what bar I'm at with Carter if he wants to swing by first.
Tarn would swing by the say his goodbyes to Carter.
All right. Yeah, so Carter is not unruly deep in his cup, but it's definitely like a few oil wells down into it at least. Yeah, you come up and hang out for a bit and tell Carter the usual goodbyes and all that. And I think Carter says to the both of you, and I think you know this, Ton, because you have worked with the company. And but Carter says to you, Brody, so because you were a part of the team, even temporarily, you and the rest of your crew are welcome to the celebration with us. It's gonna be on the 9th, so day after tomorrow. And it's gonna be, some good food, some good music, and you can meet all the pilots who did all the fighting, and you can get some nice tournament souvenirs before they go on the public shops if you want some collector's edition stuff.
Cool. Wouldn't miss it.
And Ton, you know that like there's gonna be on the 8th, everyone's just gonna relax who was involved in it, and then on the 9th there's gonna be a big celebration party where award ceremony for the people who fought and won, and then just gonna be a good time for everyone involved. All right. So Ben, Val, what are you up to while Brody and Ton is off drinking?
Yeah, I've just got back. Is this morning or afternoon or what?
This is like, I suppose, late evening. So the finals maybe ended at 8 p.m. And if you took the express train from the arena or teleported, it's gonna be a while before you're back at the starport, wherever you're sleeping, the hotel.
Yeah, I spent most of the day watching the game and chilling out up there. So I think I'll be heading back to the ship to take it easy for the rest of the night.
All right. What are you doing, Val?
I am drinking. I'm happy. I made my money. It's a good week of fights.
All right. Yeah, so I think maybe around midnight. Yeah, no, I'm trying to get the timelines right. So you left, Ton left the garage at midnight after he was released from his contract. Maybe 20 minutes or so later, he was at the bar with Carter. And then, I think around 1 p.m., Carter, fairly drunk at this point, politely bids you all, party, see you later, and goes back, leaves the place to go back to work. Yeah, what do you want to do now, Ton, Brody? It's roughly 1 p.m., 1 a.m. on the 8th.
Should probably rest up a little bit before the celebration starts.
And since everybody's going to be relaxing on the 8th, Tarn will go ahead and go back to the ship and get himself acquainted with it. Have a look around, all the ins and outs.
All right. Yeah, you can do that. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, just to give it a general once-over?
Any technician, he'd give all the critical systems with the engine room, life support stuff.
All right.
All the less critical areas, he that's all.
Yeah, so I think the ship itself, like all the hardware stuff, is fairly well maintained. Like Brody is keeping on top of that as best he can when he isn't driving the submarine. So you don't really see any issues with that. Maybe some like tertiary systems at the far back of the, hard to reach corner, like that might be a bit, neglected. But every, critical and secondary system, like those are, spot on as they're supposed to be. All right. So, is there anything specific you all want to do during your day off before the celebration? And also, does anyone bother to mention the fact that there is a feast or a party that you've been invited to?
I mean, I probably mentioned it briefly before I laid down.
All right.
Yeah, I'll attend the feast, but I'll just rest until then.
Same, I think I'll attend this piece as well. But I'll just be, doing mundane things around.
Jordan will probably just do maintenance on himself while everybody's resting.
That sounds like a great idea. So, is this because you haven't taken damage? I don't think. Is it just the like non-critical maintenance stuff you're doing, or are you trying to replace some hardware?
Just general non-critical.
Yeah, so that point you don't have to roll for it. Like it's so routine for you that it would be next to impossible for you to fail at it. All right. Yeah, so you spend some time going through the various equipment and find the right tools for performing some maintenance on yourself. And yeah, I think, as the morning on the 9th rolls around with rosy fingers and or cheeks, whichever it is, I can never remember. Right, the celebration is gonna start like roughly 6 p.m. And yeah, the venue is called La Fenice, which is a high-end restaurant and entertainment complex. So there's gonna be good food, some music, and yeah, just a general good time, I think. Spelled like that, if anyone is curious. All right. So, is there any preparation you wish to do before you set off to the grand feast?
I think I'll take some of my anxiety medication, approximately 6 marijuanas worth of anxiety medication.
Excellent. It is a universal cure for literally everything, other than the stuff that doesn't cure. And yeah, it says on the you hear the invitation from like verbally from Carter first, and then your ship or all of you receive like an official invite where it basically says like you can come dressed as you wish and like casual clothing or whatever you want. At this place, and it gives you like detailed direction. You can either go there by public transport or take a car or some such. Takes you about maybe from the starport if you go from there. And yeah, as the car rolls up, it is a fairly opulent place. Like it's in the better part of the city. Like the air is remarkably less polluted here than it was at the starport. So you can walk around here. Like it's very cool as well. Like it's not, still warm enough that you don't need a sweater or anything, but it's not like scorching desert hot. And yeah, the air is remarkably clean in this area as opposed to everywhere else where you like. I'm kind of envisioning this to be like, is it Beijing that has like this super smoggy, polluted air, like all over the place? You basically have to need a respirator to go out.
Yeah, in certain places.
Yeah.
Beijing,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Beijing.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I imagine most of this planet is. But in this part of like the upscale part of town, like you can walk around without one just fine. Like you don't feel any. Like it might be a faint odor here and there in some corners, but for the most part, like the air scrubbers are working like triple overtime to clean everything, make it a pleasant experience. And yeah, this place has it's basically a large marble building, like white marble, with like 9 columns outside in front of at the porch or whatever that would be. So you walk up the stairs, and then there's the pillars. Then you walk in through them, and then yeah, you walk into the door, like the dark wood double door, and there's people, one on each side that opens the door for you as you walk in. And yeah, inside in the reception area, yeah, you have one fairly attractive looking woman sitting by the reception desk. And yeah, she checks your tickets, checks your invites, and yeah, gestures for one of the bellboys next to her to take your coats and anything else that you don't want to be encumbered by as you attend tonight's entertainment.
And once there, Tarn's going to wander around and congratulate all the pilots on their good showing and talk with any of the other crew we didn't get to talk. Big.
Yeah, I'd say I'd make the rounds as well. Sorry, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say like that's the. My God, I'm blanking on the word. Yeah, that's just the reception area, and then after you check in, and leave your coats and whatever other stuff you want to leave at the reception, and you get the paper ticket. You know, this is your stuff. Like if you want to check them out again later, and then you are ushered into like what is essentially a large ballroom where there is a bunch of other people already, and you can just mingle there for a bit. And yeah, that's where you mingle. So, and there seems to be like all the teams are there, like all the pilots, all the support staff, you know, mechanics, you know, quartermasters, like the whole, you know, everyone involved in the team are there. So all told, it's probably like a good 60 or 70 people total. Plus honored guests.
Yeah, I'll do a lot of similar to what what is it? Yeah, similar to what Tarn was doing. I'm gonna walk around the room and speak with the pilots, and mostly just pass time while this party's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at some point you see the slick the forget the description I gave him before, but yeah, you see the same. You see the quartermaster from Crimson Thunder, who you sold the part to. Like he's doing the rounds as well, mingling with some pilots from another team. And I think all the pilots they have their uh, their uniforms on. So you know, team insignia and team ranking and all that. So it's easy to see who are the pilots, and then there are obviously you know some people that are slumming it hardcore. You know, socks and sandals. You know, like knee above knee shorts, and you know Hawaii shirts, and like it runs the gamut. And then you have like the gala dresses and suit like tuxedos and all. It runs the gamut from one end of the extreme to the other. But most seems to be like either casual or like slightly upscale clothing. And all the pilots have the uniforms. And I think, yeah, as you step into the room, you also notice Carter standing in a corner with a drink in his hand. He's wearing a suit, like suit and tie, black suit and tie. And he seems to be remarkably uncomfortable with the whole thing. I think, and yeah, like there's a general like buzz in there, like it always is when you have a lot of people talking quietly to each other. Like it's not deafening sound or anything, but it's definitely like not silent. And yeah, there is you know waiters of all shapes and sizes, you know, walking around with trays with finger food and drinks, you know, so you can just grab one whenever they pass by. And so you have something in your hands if you want to eat something before the food.
Yeah. One other thing I might do while I'm here is just look out for any sort of rumors that might pique my interest, like anything valuable, even if it's something happening in another system that I might be able to, some information I might be able to use later.
All right. So if you just want to eavesdrop, I think you can do a notice with wisdom. If you want to ingratiate yourself into a conversation and you know be social about it, it can be talk with charisma.
Might as well use my reroll for this encounter.
Yep. All right. I'll make a note about something particularly useful. right, sorry, I was just writing that down so I know what to do or what to fix for the next session. So, is there anyone else who want to do something, or yeah, in this crowd of semi-important people?
I'm gonna go to the pilots and thank them for making me so much money and smile.